Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. It's your boy Cadillac Red. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with the OG. You know what I'm saying? Once again, we're going to do a History 101. You know what I'm saying? Like last time. But this time we're not talking about Scam Daddy. We talking about the WBC. The WBC has a habit today, of these days, of wanting to put their mouth on everything. And I think that's very nasty and disgusting. But I know in the beginning, I said this on Smoke City. I don't know if Mauricio's daddy had the same problem and Mauricio was taught that, or is this something that he's doing on his own? So before, you know what I'm saying, I could even try to speak on that, I call nobody else but the OG, you know what I'm saying? Kurt Sugar, the historian, you know what I'm saying? OG Kurt, you here with us?
Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Supreme Beast Boxing Talk, man? Cadillac Gray, what's going on?
Man, I can't call it, man. Glad to have you here with us. Okay, so let's go all the way back to the beginning. How and why did the WBC start? Because in the beginning, it was like just one belt, correct? Before the WBC?
Yeah, well, it was two major belts. I'm gonna go back in history. Yeah.
Okay.
It was the New York Sports Athletic Commission belt, which was the WBC.
Okay. That was the WBC.
You had the NBA, which was the National Boxing Association, which was the WBA.
Okay.
Excuse me. And 1920, that's when the New York Sports Athletic Commission came about. It was called the Walker Law, where they legalized prize fighting.
Okay.
From 1920, the New York Sports Athletic Commission turned into the WBC on February 14, 1963. That was their first day as WBC, what we know as today.
Okay. So this was...
They already had champions like Sonny Liston, Harold Johnson, Carlos Ortiz, because if you was the New York SAC champion, you was automatically the World Boxing Council champion. And that's how the WBC started. It went from New York SAC to WBC because it evolved on that because it was just, as they say, the progression of life. You know, nothing was wrong with the New York SAC exchange, but they wanted, the president of Mexico, his name was Adolfo Mateus. He wanted to consolidate boxing. He wanted one belt. But the WBC, the WBA, which, like I said earlier, was the New York SAC and the NBA, they were always rivals.
Okay.
They don't like to see WBA and WBC be unified champions because you got two rivalries. So they don't want to share champion, but begrudgingly, some fighters fought for two belts or a champion fought for the unified belt with each other, the WBC and the WBA. Now, most people would say the WBC is the most prestigious belt, but there's a lot of stuff come with that belt, man, that I'm going to say was shady. Now, the president of Mexico, Adolfo Mateus, he was a pretty good dude. Because he wanted one belt. He wanted to consolidate the IBU, which is the International Boxing Union, and the EBU, which is the European Boxing Union. He only wanted one belt, but he got 166 countries to recognize the WBC as the main belt.
Okay. That's a lot of
After that,
that's a lot of prestige, right?
You know,
That's what will make
and that
it
was on purpose.
Yeah. No, I'm just
and
saying
then,
that gives the belt a lot of prestige. That will make it a big prestigious belt. Is represented by all those countries. Just one belt, correct?
right, correct, because it started out with 11 countries, and then it went to 166 countries. So they was building recognition and power. And after that, a lot of people, you have fighters like Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather. When you look out through history, Roy Jones, the most popular fighters held that WBC belt, which made it possible to be recognized as the most coveted belt. More than the WBA, more than the IBF, the WBO, which came later in the 80s. IBF came in 83, WBO came in 88, but it was, and it was the WBC belt, that green belt, that garnered all of the attention. The WBA was first. It came in 62, but WBC came in 63, but that garnered all the attention. Now, the WBC had a lot of controversy, man, because that's where Don King come in.
Okay.
Don King controlled the WBC. They listened to what he said. I'm going to give you an example. When Julio Cesar Chavez fought Roger Mayweather, the WBC would not sanction that fight. When Don King decided to promote the fight, that's when they sanctioned it. But see, fighters knew you was going to get a WBC title shot no matter what division you was in, like what weight division you was in, because if you if you wasn't with Don King and you fought one of his fighters, and you won, it said in the contract, if you won, you would fight like, a 3-4 fight contract with Don King. And you was getting the WBC title shot. And they was in bed with each other, but Don King had Suleiman in the back of his pocket. If Don King told him to jump, Suleiman said how high. Okay. And one of the boxing promoters, I remember as a kid, they used to call Jose Suleiman Don King's errand boy. That's all true, not alleged.
Okay, so this not Mauricio, this is the daddy, right? What's the daddy name again?
Jose Suleiman.
Jose Suleiman. Okay, and Jose was in the back, and he was the president when the WBC started. He was the president.
No, they had 6 presidents. He became president of WBC in 1975.
Okay, in 75. And as soon as he became president, he started putting his mouth on everything, or just Don King. He put his mouth just on Don King. You know what I'm saying?
Everything. Because Jose Suleiman, he wasn't even Mexican. A lot of people don't know that. He's Lebanese and Syrian.
Oh, hell no. See, it's always some shit like that, Kurt, that he not Mexican. Daddy Suleiman is not Mexican.
Nah, he's not Mexican. He was born in Mexico, but his parents is from the Middle East.
Oh, he's Syrian. He is Syrian Mexican. Stop.
Syrian Lebanese, but I'm gonna tell you something. He was a former amateur fighter, promoter. He was everything. He had his hands all over boxing, and that's why he was more popular enough to become president of the WBC.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
But you had men before him that were better men. They wasn't crooked like him.
Yes, that's what gave it the prestige, though. That's what I think gave it the prestige, man.
Then his son took over 2014. But when Jose Suleiman was there, okay, I'm sorry.
No. Okay. So yeah. So Jose Suleiman, he get in bed with Don King, and it's everything that Don King says. Now, I think this is very interesting what you had just said about Don King. So he had the 3 or 4 fight deal in case his fighter lost. Now, could a reason that he set up big fights? Right. Could a reason be that he set up big fights is because he was trying to get the new champ, to lose his belt against one of his fighters that's coming up? Because he only got him on the deal?
Well, Don King was going to win either way, because if he told a fighter that wasn't promoted by Don King is that, you know, the only way you can get a big profile fight and fight one of my fighters, which he had all the champions just about, that you will have to sign with me. So Don King will win either way. If his fighter won the fight, his fighters, he had his in-house fighters. But if the outside guy won, you had to sign that contract or you weren't getting the fight. I'm going to give you another example of how crooked things work. The fix was there with Pernell Whitaker and Julio Cesar Chavez. Because a lot of people don't know this, that the judges, when there's a fight, the state commission will pick the judges. But in that fight with Pernell Whitaker and Julio Cesar Chavez, the judges came from the WBC, which was Don King judges and Jose Suleiman judges. That's why they staged the fight in San Antonio, Texas. Pernell had no choice. He wasn't going to win that fight. He had to knock Chavez out. But the only reason they call it a draw, because it wasn't close and they could sell it as a draw rather than Pernell losing. Because it would have been an outcry, so they said, make it a draw. So those judges were Don King judges, Jose Suleiman judges. The deck was stacked against Pernell Whitaker going into that fight, and he didn't even know it.
Yeah.
He wanted a rematch in Las Vegas, but Don King told him to go kick rocks, because Don King was smart enough to understand that Chavez could never beat Whitaker. So they never fought in a rematch. But that's why that fight was a draw instead of Pernell winning.
Okay. Now, Don King doing all this shit with the WBC, is that what will make somebody like Scam Daddy say, man, hey man, I need to go make my own belt and start doing this shit myself?
Well, you talk about Bob Arum, right?
Yeah, Bob Arum in the WBO.
Yeah, well, Bob Arum was crooked too. Cause remember, I told you about him. Yeah. They all crooked. Bob Arum was paying bribes to the sanctioner body to rank his fighters, and then when the FBI started investigating him on the witness stand, he got on the witness stand and he turned against the president at that time of the IBF, which was Bob Lee.
Okay. So okay.
But they had him wiretaps and all. They had him dead to rights, so he couldn't lie he couldn't perjure himself on the witness stand, and Bob Lee had to go to jail for that. But he admitted, I gave him $250,000 for this. I gave him $100,000 for that. Boxing is so crooked, man, that it's stories upon stories about the promoters and the sanctioner body. They all in bed together.
Okay. Nah, the reason I asked is because I remember we talked last time and we were saying how Don King used to give Bob them whippings and shit because he was the guy and he had the WBC in his pocket, like how you just said. So I'm thinking to myself, like, Bob being Bob would probably be mad, like, yo, I can't do this shit and I just had to testify against somebody else. I might as well make my own shit. You know what I'm saying? And not be my own, but it be my own shit. And then, I could run rampant with the WBO like that. So that's just what I was thinking and shit. That just was my a side question that I had. But okay, so back to Don King. When does anything with Don King goes like federal or anything like how Bob had to testify? Does anything get legal with them two together?
Don King is like the Teflon Don, man. I mean, he did so much, and I can't, for the life of me, figure out how this dude snuck through the cracks. He was being investigated a bunch of times, but the investigation was dropped because Don King has very powerful friends.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So he was never indicted on nothing major. I mean, you had the incident with Tim Witherspoon. They made the Muhammad Ali Act because of Don King and Carl King, his stepson, because you cannot promote and manage a fighter, the same fighter. You can't do that. It becomes a conflict of interest. So they had the Muhammad Ali Act, so he couldn't do that no more.
Hold on. They say you can't promote and manage?
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't be the manager and promoter of a fight.
Okay.
There's a conflict of interest.
Okay. All right. Yeah, see, and they made that. So they changed the rules because of Don King, but he never got caught breaking rules.
Absolutely.
Man,
I mean, he's been investigated. Don King been running with mobs since the early 70s.
Okay.
The mob in Cleveland, and because of that, his background, rubbing shoulders with the mob, I think that had a lot to do with it, where he never been arrested or, investigated closely like that. I mean, you hear his name, Don King is being investigated by the FBI, then all of a sudden, nothing.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, when I was growing up, they say that Don King was kind of like a shiesty guy. He wasn't to be trusted or whatnot. But now that I'm getting a history lesson, I mean, shit, they make rules because of you, and you still don't break the rules, man. Salute to the black guy. Shit, fuck it, because these white motherfuckers be doing the same shit, and they have to testify and all kind of shit, fuck up everything. So that counts too. What about that? And this motherfucker's a Hall of Fame promoter. One guy broke rules, had to testify. You know what I'm saying? The other dude did his thing because there was no rules. They made rules and he still didn't break them. Man, y'all kiss my ass, man. Fuck that. Anyway. Okay, so, how does Jose die?
I heard a heart attack. I heard different things. I'm not really sure, but he passed on. But I heard it was a heart attack.
Okay. So, was Mauricio already being groomed at that time?
Absolutely. His father was grooming him to take over the presidency of the WBC. Absolutely, he was. He was being groomed, and he don't know what his father know. He's not as he's kind of naive, but he got people in the background that kind of show him the ropes. They got one thing in common: they want Mexican fighters to be champions of their belt, and they try to monopolize and keep boxing away from the black fighters. They want the popular black fighters to become champions so they can sell the belt.
Okay. So he was being groomed. I guess, like, to answer my question originally, his daddy was putting his mouth on everything, particularly Don King, but everything. Ain't it crazy how your daddy was in bed with a black man, and now you don't want the black man to? All right, man. Okay, so now Mauricio takes over. Hold on. Was Jose or Mauricio with the Roy Jones shit?
Yeah.
Which one was it? Who was president?
It was Jose Sulaiman.
Okay, so before Jose died, maybe this might be the shit that killed him. All right, so Graciano Rakatani. Do you know anything about the fighter himself before we get into him? Paul?
I mean, I seen him fight before, but the controversy was Roy Jones announced that he was relinquishing the WBC light heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a lot of confusion, and Rocket Johnny fought for the title. Who did he fight? I forgot who he fought for the title, and I think it was Michael Nunn. And then Roy had a change of heart. Roy said that he asked the WBC to restate him as the champion.
Now,
and that move violated a dozen of his own regulations, and the WBC granted the reinstatement. And Rocket Shiny was like, "Hold up, I'm the champion. I won it in the ring. He can't say he gave up the title, then won it back." And then Rocket Shiny received a letter from the WBC advising that the publication of his name and champion, it was an error or something like that, and he's never been official title holder. And I said Roy was wrong because Rocket Shiny was supposed to have been champion. When that happened, I said boxing can do anything it wants. Anything. I'm serious, man. That's real.
Now see, Roy fought for the heavyweight. He fought John Ruiz. And became the champ.
Right.
Heavyweight champ. And Rakatani fought and became the light heavyweight champ. And everything was kosher. Roy said, "No, I'm not fighting no more heavyweights." He went back down. Now, instead of being the smart motherfucker that it's probably his son would have did, I don't know why he didn't just have Roy fight Rakatani first. If Roy fight Rakatani first, hold on, time out, OG. It just dawned on me. I got to drink to that one. Hold on.
Yeah, but there's more though.
Hold on.
I was following this.
The chain of events. Motherfucking Jose Suleiman bitch ass fucked up boxing. Okay. Follow me on this and let me know if I'm right or wrong. Okay, so if Roy comes back down and fights Rakatani, it's probably going to be an easy fight. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be a hard fight, not like a Antonio Tarver. His weight would have been cool. He would have been good getting acclimated back to 175. That would have been his fight of acclimation. And becoming the champ. And the WBC would have had money because they had a championship fight. And they wouldn't have got sued. And Roy probably would have had his shit together to beat Antonio Tarver instead of jumping down in weight. Am I right or wrong about this? Or am I tripping?
You're right. That's an excellent point.
That's all like that, because I remember Roy getting knocked the fuck, like that fucked up boxing for me. You know what I'm saying? As a youngin' coming up, that fucked me up. So that whole shit could have been prevented if Jose would have followed his own fucking rules. All right, I'm sorry, OG. I'm sorry, OG. I'm just sorry I had to. Damn, you know what I'm saying? Okay, go ahead. What you were saying? Okay, so he sued. He wound up suing the WBC, right?
Yeah, they took it to federal court and he won.
Yes.
The judge favored Rakashani, and the judge awarded him $30 million and reinstated Rakashani as the title holder, but the WBC didn't want to pay that money, so they filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And after you can't make this up, right? And after that, they said, "Listen, we don't have the money. We're gonna give you a 6-figure settlement." Rakashani told them niggas to go kick rocks, and he disagreed. Now, I think in July of 2004, they did settle finally because he wasn't going to get $30 million because WBC protected itself. But he did, I heard he got millions, but it wasn't 30 million.
Yeah, what I heard was the WBC filed bankruptcy and they wasn't going to have a belt no more. But the letters, he got, Rakatani got so much fan mail from so many people saying that how the WBC is needed in boxing and the history of the WBC and all this stuff. Like, he got so much fan mail because of that he said, you know what, I'll just settle out in court so y'all could, you know what I'm saying, keep y'all shit going. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but.
The last thing I heard, he got an undisclosed amount of money in 2004, and he went away, didn't say nothing. You know, that's all I heard about it, and that was the end of that story. But that's just one of many. That's just one of many. I'm telling you, man, that WBC is crooked as I don't know what.
Yeah. Yeah. They are, man. They are. You know what I'm saying? They are. So that shit happened with Jose. They damn near go bankrupt. Jose dies like that happened with Roy Jones what year?
98.
98. Okay, and then when did he pass away?
Jose Suleiman?
Yeah.
I think 2014, something like that.
Okay. So he had a little bit of time after that to rebuild. Jose takes over. Mauricio takes over, and he continues in the same fashion to put his mouth on everything. To me, it seems like Jose was cool with the black fighter that made the money. Was Mauricio on the same type of time?
There you go, yup.
Mauricio was on the same type of time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, it could be any Mexican fighter. They don't have to make a lot of money. They just any Mexican fighter. But if you black, you gotta make a lot of money. So we can go from that on to, I guess, did Mauricio do anything? What would you consider of note that he did that was crooked before this franchise bullshit? Before we break down that.
Well, I remember in 1990, when Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson, they did not want to give Buster Douglas the WBC belt. It was so crooked, they tried to reverse it and says it was the count was too slow when Tyson knocked Douglas down. If that fight was in the United States, you know they was going to reverse that. But because it was in Japan, it was different. The Japanese told Don King and the WBC to go kick rocks because Don King told the referee, his name was Elvio Moran, right? Mm-hmm. Listen to this one. Don King needed the referee to say, yeah, I was counting slow. It was my mistake. Don King threatened the referee saying, you would never work again. You would never do a Don King fight. I make sure you won't do no fights. Plus, when the referee is appointed to a fight, especially in a foreign country, they pay for his air flight. They pay for his hotel. They pay all his expenses. Mm-hmm. Don King told Octavio Moran, if you don't go on board with me, we're going to give you a big old bill for years of unpaid expenses.
God damn.
Hey, man.
I thought you was going to say,
with you, brother.
Hold on, OG. Because I thought you was going to say, they was like, look, your ass getting out this hotel tonight, and you go find your own way home and all that shit. No, he said, no, we could bill you for all the shit that you did.
That's what he told him.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But they backed down Don King, the WBC, not because of the referee, because of public pressure.
Okay.
People didn't go for it. They was like, Don, get out of here with that.
I think that the public pressure, do you think it was really public pressure, or do you think that people that gambled on that fight won that money and was like, nah, you got me fucked up, we not paying? No. We ain't reversing that.
It's probably a combination of both, but public pressure is hard to beat when you got millions of people who saw the fight and seen that Mike Tyson got knocked out. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't go against this. People, pressure bust pipes. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Jose Sulaiman was really working for Don King. Anything Don King wanted, Jose Sulaiman did.
Yeah, man. Shit's bad, man.
Because remember something, Cadillac Red, that was for Undisputed. And every time you Buster Douglas took a picture, he only took a picture with the IBF belt. Think about it. The red one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the Tyson debacle, that was Mauricio. Oh, that
Yep.
Okay. What else?
No. Jose.
That was still Jose. Would other than the franchise bullshit, that's the only thing that you would say Mauricio's done?
Yeah, but he's being told what to do. He don't know how to run a organization like that. You know, that's people behind the scenes is telling him what to do. Trust and believe. Because he don't know. He's naive.
Okay.
He doesn't know.
Okay.
Just look at him when he was on barbershop conversations with Fred.
Yeah. I hope Fred had disinfectant wipes, because you know he was putting his mouth all on the desk and all kind of shit, man. Nasty mouthed it, man. Telling you, he got a oil fixation, like for real, like he like just putting his mouth on anything, okay, the franchise shit. I know how all that shit started, but go ahead. Let me get the technical version from the OG. You know what I'm saying? Tell me the story behind how it started up and what happened.
I ain't hear the last part. What now?
About the franchise title. Tell me about everything that happened with it. Like how it started and why did it start, and what was the original point of all the bullshit.
Well, the franchise was started in 2019, where they picked a champion. It has no ground. It has no grassroots. They just pick a guy, and they just say, you're going to be our franchise champion. No matter what, if you lost, you could never lose this belt. You're the champion forever with this belt. That's basically what it is.
You are correct.
That's it. That's ain't no more you can say. It's a hand-picked fighter with a bogus title to a belt that the champion can never lose. That would be Canelo Alvarez and Vasily Lomachenko and now Teofimo. Now, you notice Gary Russell is a WBC champion, but they didn't make him a franchise.
And he moves up in weight. He want to move up in weight. See, ain't they about a bitch? You know what I'm saying? If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
See, they ain't going to make no black fighter a franchise champion. That ain't going to happen.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think black fighters need to stop fucking with the WBC. The WBC need to be the title that should be your last title that you get, and then you can get rid of that shit as soon as you get it. Matter of fact, you could fight for it and don't pay the sanctioning fee and get rid of that shit. You don't need that.
Yeah. See, they love Floyd because Floyd, his sanctioning fees was over $1 million, and but they love Floyd because Floyd make their money. Mm-hmm. Floyd never needed the belt, but Floyd like collecting belts. He got like 20 of them on the table.
Yeah. And
plus he had that other belt they made that cost over $1 million. It's called, him and Pacquiao fought for. I forgot the name of it. Damn. But it cost over $1 million.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he did, and that's the other thing. Like, I don't like them because they seem to always want to get in the middle of a fight. Like, it be fights going on and shit. Like, and they always there. Like, you don't. If the champ is already fighting for a title, he don't need to be fighting for another title. You trying to double up on the sanctioning fees off him, man. You know what I'm saying? Stop coming up off the black fighter's back if you don't fuck with him like that. That shit is not cool to me. Like the Tyson and Roy Jones fight. That did not to be that didn't need to be for no WBC title. Man. Come on, what are we doing? What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? That don't need to be Black Lives Matter on
yeah,
top
but
of that.
this is how they keep their name up there. They make up a belt, diamond belt, silver belt, Black Lives Matter belt, Malcolm X belt. That's what they do.
That shit is sad, man. That shit is sad, and that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like about them, man. Now, in my opinion, I ask you this: I'm respecting the IBF. This channel respects the IBF champs because the president is black. Do you disagree with that?
No, I agree. I live right down the street from the IBF. The IBF headquarters is in Springfield, New Jersey. So I live right down the street. I'm in Elizabeth, New Jersey. So, yeah, because the IBF forces is mandatory. The IBF used to be dirty when Bob Lee had it, but it's cleaned itself up. It had no choice because of the FBI. Out of all three sanctioned bodies, well, three, the IBF is the less crooked than all of them.
Okay. And see, that's what I say. I say the same shit, you know what I'm saying? And the president black, man. You know what I'm saying? Support black shit. Motherfucking all champs that with the WBC, as soon as you move up in weight class or you don't have the belt no more, that's the belt you need to be going with and fucking with, man. That's the most prestigious belt in boxing, in my opinion. On that note, man, we'll go ahead and get on up out of here on that note, man. Fuck the WBC. And go ahead, OG Kurt, you want to tell the people how they can follow you, where they can find you at?
Yes, indeed, man. Thanks for having me. Anytime, I enjoyed it, man. I just, my father taught me the history because he wanted me to know everything about the sport. I hate the politics of it, but it's part of the game. But you can find me on Blue Blood Sports TV Monday through Friday, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, and Thursday, 3 Wise Men in Boxing, Stormy B-Man's channel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And always dishing out the good shit. You and Blue stay with some good cooking. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. And Stormy B-Man, of course, man. The OG does it like none other. For sure. And on that note, man, yeah, man, it's been a good one, man. Supreme Beast Boxing Talk, man. It's your boy Cadillac Red, man. Salute to the mighty LDBC. And we're about this thing, man. One.